it's time we discuss a fighter who's recently shown who he truly is in the octagon and outside of it. A fighter that I think has become top 5, genuinely top 5 in the most annoying fighter category. I mean, it's hard to beat Adesanya, but he's slowly but surely creeping his way up to take that #1 spot. He's definitely top 3, in fact, for me, and that is Ian Garry. This guy has shown an unsurmountable, is that even a word? A high level, let's use that word. He's shown a high level of just straight up cockiness. Now, cockiness as a fighter is not bad. Actually, I prefer a fighter to be cocky rather than to be humble at times, because, you know, I think being a fighter takes some level of delusion. Like, you have to be confident in yourself if you want to be successful in the UFC, but you can also be humble as well. So, I mean, there's many different combinations there. But with Ian Garry, you can't be cocky and also be wrong. You know what I mean? You can be cocky and right and be cocky and do all these things, you know what I'm saying? And you can pass it off as confidence. But if you're cocky and wrong, you just look stupid. The whole situation with Neil Magny was just straight up dumb, and it kind of ruined me as a fan. I used to like Ian Garry. I appreciate him trying to follow in McGregor's shoes, even though it was kind of stupid and I think dumb, and he was copying him a little bit with some of the lines he was saying. Even at the press conference, he copied him for a second when he said, "You do what you're told." Like, it's a bit cringe, bro. It's a bit stupid, but I at least rate him for trying to make a name for himself through McGregor's shoes or whatever, through his footsteps. Conor McGregor walked so Ian Garry could run type deal, you know what I mean? But now it's kind of like, bro, like, do you have an identity crisis as well? Like, you're not McGregor, and you're probably never going to be McGregor. And then with Neil Magny, like, he actually took control of the whole press conference and made Neil Magny shut up for the entire time for what I think is the dumbest reason that he came up with. The whole child situation with Neil Magny about how he hurts his kid was a false narrative. I don't think Neil Magny hurts his kid. Maybe Neil Magny secretly does, but in my eyes, I don't think Neil Magny is out there, you know, pulling guillotines and clinching with his son on a daily basis. I don't think Neil Magny's out there throwing 1-2 combos on his, you know, young child, you know? All he said was a line about how he has a son, so he's used to putting on whoopings to younger kids, which he was referring to Ian Garry being that young kid that he'll put a whooping on. I don't think Neil Magny is out there genuinely trying to front kick KO his kid every single day. I don't think that's what's going on. And so Ian Garry spun that into that he pretty much, whatever word you want to use, his child. And that, I don't believe that's true. That is some sort of virtue signal, I think, from Ian Garry about about hurting his kid. You should never put your hands on a child. I agree. But I don't think Neil Magny is genuinely trying to hurt his kid. And I think Ian Garry taking this narrative and spinning it the way that he's spinning it is cringe. It's kind of some loser shit, bro, if I'm being honest with you. It's just whatever, you know what I mean? It's not like you're not really gaining any pity points for me. I'm not going to be sitting here like, Ian Garry said that kids shouldn't be hit by their parents. Oh my God, he's such a great person. I am not sitting here thinking that about Ian Garry. I'm just like, yeah, bro, you probably shouldn't, you know, hurt your child. You know, that's not a hot take in my opinion. Not a hot take. But him using that against Neil Magny and treating him like this, like he's some criminal, I think it's just dumb. I think it's just completely dumb. It's stupid. And I feel so bad for Neil Magny because he got absolutely beaten up pretty badly by Ian Garry. I mean, he got 30-24. So now Neil Magny has to sit here and just get called a child, or like, you know, he might get a call from, you know, child CPA or whatever it is about his whole situation to make sure his kid is good. You know what I mean? And it's just like, I know he was joking. It was a dumb cringe line. It wasn't anything that was too crazy in my opinion. It wasn't anything that was, you know, like, it's a weird line to say. Obviously, that wouldn't be my go-to line to talk trash about Ian Garry, you know, but it's still it still wasn't that big of a deal. And then what made it even worse was the post-fight press conference with Ian Garry, where he's talking to, I think it was MMA Junkie. I don't believe that might have been the right website, but it was some sort of website where I saw an interview on YouTube. And this guy was just being absolutely delusional. I'm not delusional, but just big, like just meat riding himself so much. And I'm like, what? He's just saying, I do this thing, you know, he's like calling himself him over and over and over again. He went out there and he proved this point, and like, imagine to go back there to his house and think about what he did. And it's like Ian Garry, dude, it's really not that deep, bro. And he just slowly but surely is just becoming this annoying guy. Like, he thinks that he's in the right here. He thinks that he is, you know, above all else. But in all reality, everybody views him as this annoying little brat child. You know what I mean? Everybody kind of views him as this little kid that is, who is kind of hasn't had a reality check yet. And Ian Garry is good. Don't get me wrong. Ian Garry, as a fighter in the octagon, I believe in him. I think that he will be a top 5 guy at some point. He might even be champion, you know? If Sean O'Malley can be champion, Ian Garry surely has a shot of being champion somewhere down the line. But, you know, in terms of outside and how he talks and, you know, the way he's acting and presenting himself to us as a fan base, it's pretty cringe, dog. Adesanya, I know Adesanya's annoying. The whole dog situation, the whole racial tension between him and Dricus du Plessis, it's weird. He's cringe. His lines, frozen like Elsa, was always a terrible line. I always hated that line. But, you know, he can kind of get away with it in some aspects because Adesanya's a champion, you know, and his whole gig is to be kind of cringe, you know what I mean? That's kind of who he is as a person. He's not this, like, I genuinely think that Adesanya is being himself, you know what I'm saying? And when it's cocky, delusional, it's whatever, but he's a champion and he's winning fights, you know what I'm saying? And he just KO'd Pereira in the 2nd round, you know what I mean? Like, he has a bit more leeway in terms of being annoying than Ian Garry. Ian Garry is a top 15 prospect that we're hoping can get in the top 5 eventually one day. And he's talking like this, and he's spinning narratives about Neil Magny, and he's like virtue signaling, trying to get the fans on his side. You know, he's calling out the Boston crowd. He's doing a workout in a pub, which is cool, by the way. I think it's crazy. I think that's really cool that he did a workout in a pub. But it's like, bro, like, he's trying too hard to be cool. He's trying too hard to be this superstar that he wants to be. And like, bro, just be yourself. Just be yourself, dog. And maybe this is himself. Maybe this cocky little brat attitude is himself. You know what I mean? But it's annoying. It's straight up annoying. And like, he's 25. He'll grow up. I'm not gonna get into his wife's situation too hard. That's also something that's pretty weird. You know, that's his own business, you know. But it's weird. It's weird. And Ian Garry is he's doing his thing, man. But it's cringe. It's actually cringe, and it's annoying. I hate the way he talks on MMA Junkie. I hate the way he talks in his post-fight press conferences. I hate the way he talks in the press conference. I hate this whole virtual signaling thing he's going for. I hate this whole spinning of the narrative that he's going for. He comes off as this kid who thinks he's humble, who's, you know, he's bigging himself up. He's confident. What he's saying is not cockiness, but it's confidence. And there's a big difference between confidence and just straight up being cocky about yourself. And when you're cocky and wrong again, it's just like, bro, like, nobody's going to like you if you're like that. You're going to come off as this delusional little brat. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That's Ian Garry. Probably keep winning and keep saying the same things over and over again, but it is what it is at this point. I kind of want to talk about him for a second. I had no video ideas today. The beard's growing out a little bit. You know, we're getting a little bit of scruff. Probably gonna shave it tonight, but I might let it grow out for a second. But that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys for watching this video up to this point. I surely do appreciate it. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, that like button, and that bell icon for notifications. That would mean a lot to me as well. Ian Garry is becoming the most annoying fighter in the UFC, slowly but rapidly. Actually, more rapidly than slowly at this point. He's kind of getting up there fast and quick. But I'm out of here, guys. I'll see y'all. Peace.